We've all heard about truth in advertising, but what about all those social media posts with people pushing products with pictures that have been retouched? You know the ones. With influencers looking like they've got perfect complexions, ideal proportions, and definitely no cellulite. Well, a new law in Norway is meant to combat photos that push unrealistic beauty standards. Any influencer making money off their posts will be required to label retouched or manipulated photos with a mark designed by the government. So what do you all think about this? I know there's definitely two sides. It's polarizing. You either think this is great and it's going to help our youth, or you think it is going down a slippery slope. Al, what do you think?
I don't know about either. I just wonder if we're expanding this to all genres, not just the way people look. Are we talking about food as well? Because when they advertise a hamburger for Wendy's or McDonald's, they have a food stylist come in and touch that up. So are we talking about French fries, or are we talking about just how you look? Why is it always just one form of advertising that we seem to go after? And I do think, and I don't want to speak for you guys, so I'm going to open this up, any advertising you're exposed to, don't you assume that it's been touched up in some way?
I think, yeah, I do assume it, because that's the nature of aesthetic representation. I think that this may be going a bit too far if you're not promoting these unrealistic beauty standards. Like, if you're retouching to polish a picture, then that makes a lot of sense. If you're claiming that your nose is smaller than what it is by making it smaller in the photo, because you're also doing something that has to do with your face and contour, but you're manipulating the photo, that's something different. But where does it start and where does it stop? It feels a little hater to me.
I'm all about it. I'm going to have the unpopular opinion. I'm all about it. Not only do I think it's important from an advertising standpoint, because if you're selling a beauty cream, a wrinkle cream, and you're completely airbrushing your face, I'm not going to know if that wrinkle cream works or not. You probably got Botox, or it is just no shame or hate on that, but it's like, I want to know if this works or not. And number two, I really do worry about our youth who are inundated with these images. If it makes me insecure, I can only imagine how it's going to make my daughter insecure. I want more regulation. I know that's not a popular opinion, but when it comes to social media, more regulation in my opinion.
But I think that's trying to control too much, because a lot of people who are influencers post sometimes for paid posts, and the other times they post for just themselves. So even if you look at the Kardashians, who say they've had very little to no work done, they still exist on social media and not promoting anything, and these kids are still looking at it. So it's really up to you and up to us and parents to be like, you're not getting on social media, you're not doing this, and kind of monitor your kids. Because if we can't handle it as adults, looking at other people who we have to accept are altering their image, then kids definitely can't handle it. So maybe it's just like, remove them from the app.
There's a reason why suicide's on the rise when it comes to our youth.
But they're also trying to sell a product, Sam.
It doesn't matter. Here in Colorado, the #1 cause of death amongst teens is suicide. That's not okay in my book. We need to do everything possible. And what's the one thing that's new over the last decade? Social media.
But what about magazines in the 80s?
Well, we're not going in a time machine back to
there's a generation of women that grew up with that, and those were all airbrushed and touched up.
Yeah, but you're not sitting on it looking at a magazine 6 hours a day like kids are looking at their phone constantly. Barbie, of course, but I'm talking about the present, not the past.
Okay, well, sorry to bring some context. See, people are going to think we're mad at each other again.
I know, we love each other.
Sam, I love you.
I'm sad that we have to do that. But we do read your comments.